Okay, so this video is coming on the back on me doing a video on 1,000 times resist, and I'm just going to talk about where my headspace is at. One, I don't know how much is left. It doesn't seem like much. Like, if you look at the thing, supposedly there's 14 hours of the entire game, right? I'm on essentially hour 10. It's technically speaking, it's a bit here or there. The maths isn't perfect, but technically speaking, by the way that I do it, is somewhat out of 10, right? Because I've done 10 parts, those are downloaded, da da da. So yeah, it's essentially here are 10 hours that I have played, and now it's that. And the first part is very simple. You go to communion, and by the way, I am going to spoil a bit. So if you haven't seen any other game, do. And this isn't me cycle analyzing it because I have not finished it. I've basically gone up to the part of, I think, chapter 6, part 1, and all that stuff. Like, the first part was a bit easier. You get introduced to this world of sisters of this area, principal, watcher, fixer, healer, bang bang fire, and watcher, and you are watcher. You're going around, you're observing, you're doing all of this stuff, and it's insane. Obviously, there's a bit at the end and the beginning, and that's when I'm getting confused, but a bit on that. You do a communion, fixer comes in. I know a bit about that, but I'm not going to bring it up because I haven't crossed that part, so that's just me, someone spoiled me. Not important. I'm just going to not mention it for what I'm doing because that's not the thing that I'm getting confused about. And then you do the communion, you talk to Fixer, that happens. And then you talk to the sisters. And then you do a communion with Bang Bang Fire, all of which I had done. Even though I had to go back to chapter 1 and do all of that communion because you have to talk to every single person in the school to get the chapter 1 achievement. Chapter 2, did all that, have the communion, talk to everyone, have a communion with healer, talk to everyone, have the incident, which is a change of pace because usually you talk to everyone, talk to someone else, move on, which wasn't for this. And now we've had this situation. We've talked to everyone. We've talked to everyone here. Did chapter 5 with Noah. Yeah, chapter 1, chapter 2 is Man, chapter 3 is Healer. No, chapter 4 is Noah, I think, if I get my numbers right. Yeah, Bang Bang Fire, Healer, Noah. And then we go to the area with the All Mother. Actually, no, chapter. Yeah. Now, here's my question. We are no longer with Watcher. Watcher is not around. Also, spoiler for later in the game, I'm not going to talk about. Watcher is still alive. There is a point of that. But my confusion is this. What the is going on? Because I know Watcher's alive, I know Fix is alive, I know Healer's alive, I know Noah's somewhere, and I know, because I've seen a little bit of the ending, I don't know how it works fully yet, but Bang Bang Fire is still alive. So they are all alive. You'll see the bartender is around, but the bartender has grey hair, meaning some time has passed, because when you see her before, she does not have that. Does that mean specifically that it's been years? It could be specifically that when she was there, she didn't have grey hair, and it's been like 10 years, and within those years, only 5 years, she got grey hair. So that is feasible. I can even make the argument of 1 year, and you get grey hair between the end and now. I think it's been a bit more. I don't know. But my question is, when you first boot up the game, you see the scene, and then you see her commit the murder, and then you go up to someone with a blindfold, which is another watcher, you as watcher. And now you have a similar conversation, I don't know if it's the exact same, with another watcher on the water, which you were also doing when there was also water when you did that, when you first did it. And I am confused because the same thing happens as you boot up into a situation where sort of Noah is at the entrance point where you go down to go to the train. My question is, has the whole from chapter 1 through chapter 5 been a communion within a communion? Essentially, we've had Blue have dreams about what Watcher's seen, and then Watcher goes to what the All Mother sees, and that's the past. Because you still have inside the memories, genetic memories of the further past with her mum. And I know there's, because I watched something to do with, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't know too much about it. There's supposedly a memory with the dad that beforehand. But this is, I just wanted to say this to be like, am I going crazy? Because I am playing this game and I am confused. Like, there was a part where you teleported away. Does that mean that happened? I don't know. I am legitimately puzzled. Does that mean what we've been playing through, again, chapter 1 to 5, is that all a memory through someone else's experience, like they've been saying throughout the entire game? It's happening when you do communion with the All Mother's memories. I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know. I don't know where we're going from here. I know there's chapter 2 and 3 of chapter 6. I know there's some other stuff. There's chapter 7, 8, and 9, and 10. And there's all of that stuff. I know there are multiple endings, which I am going to try and get legitimately because achievements. Like, from where I am, obviously, if you put in the comments, try not to spoil. I have spoiled myself with some stuff. I do know some stuff about the endings. I do know some stuff about Gila, Noah. I've said that. And I've seen, by the way, spoilers, a bit further on, I do know Watch is still alive. I have seen that because I'm like, I can't. So, but my question is, am I going crazy or am I onto something? Because I don't know. Also, I do know a lot of people talk about how this isn't a game, but more like, oh, here, talk to this. Go here, talk to this. I'm like, that? I'm fine with that. This is chaotic, and if you had to solve puzzles, I would lose it. So, both, I think some of the game points are fun because it's about choice. I think Daryl Talks Games has said it best, where it's like, this person resists against this person resists against this person resists against this. We are resisting 1,000 times over. That's why it's 1,000 times resist, and I think it's amazing. I also think that some of the things are sort of like trying to find stuff, which I think is good. Anyway, long story short, I'm going crazy because I can't do anything else until next Thursday because I don't want to like be like, and then we're back here. But I have no idea what's going on. If anyone can give me any tips on how the story is going, please. But try not to spoil, but I don't care either way. I am confused. That's all this is. I am confused. I am going insane. This is an amazing story. There will be a bigger review later on when I finish. And a bit more. But for now, I'm just... That's my feeling.